Hello everybody, Storm here, and welcome back to Dragon Age Inquisition. In the last episode, we met the advisors of the Inquisition, Liliana the Spy Master, Josephine Montelier, the diplomat, and Cullen, who is the commander of our armies. And then we went ahead and headed out into Haven and had some conversations with Liliana and our quartermaster and Varric, which we still have a few more things to do around in town. But right now we are back at the war map to collect the results of the various missions that we've sent our advisors on. Let's go ahead and just do the gather coin one. Our efforts bore fruit. A portion of the profits will be passed to you. Use it wisely. Got 95 gold. Take that. That is a repeatable mission. We can send them on to continue to get some gold. The Cairn of Highever. Commander Cullen reporting. Your honor guard was a welcome sight at the Divine's Vigil. As a measure of thanks, I'm sending Ferelden arms and equipment for your troops. Sincerely, Taryn Fergus Kuzland. We received a Ferelden Captain Longsword. Okay, that's nice. Might be something that Cassandra could use. Address a nobleman's concerns. This is the racist noble. Ambassador Montelier. So the Inquisition is a hollow prank, a jest to swindle the righteous. The tide of apostates and demons swells on my doorstep as you do nothing. My death will be on your head and the heads of all the other charlatans of the Inquisition. At least our stains so dark, the Maker himself cannot remove it. Yours truly, Lord Kildarn. And we don't really care what you think. We didn't get any rewards out of it, but whatever. Alright, so Hard in Hightown 3, Varric's Revenge. Let's go ahead and send someone out to do this. So Cullen can't do it. Liliana gives us 12 minutes. Josephine gives us 15. So what is this? Ruffles. I guess that's what he calls Josephine. I need a favor. Actually, let's call it a loan, since I'll pay it back. I got a letter from my editor in Kirkwall today. She tells me that Hard in Hightown 3, the repuncheoning, appeared... Really? Whatever. Appeared in print from an Antivan printer a couple weeks ago. I'll give you a moment to contemplate the horror that is that title. Ah, yes it is. I had my contacts in the Merchants Guild look for the author a couple years back. The best they could find out after spending a couple hundred gold was that Piril Belenforth is a pen name. Balenforth, actually. I could have told them that for free. You've got contacts with the Antivan print houses. Maybe you could find out more than the guild. Let's see. Liliana says that this author has evaded the Merchants Guild. The Crows might be a better choice for investigating him. Ask a friend in Antiva City to look into this matter, I suppose. We'll send Liliana on the mission, sure.
Let's see what we have.
We have no power, so we can't scout any other regions. Let's see if there's anything we can do in Orlais. Contact the Valocas Mercenaries, which is the mercenary company that our character is from. Adar. I heard you were dead, then a prisoner, and then maybe you fell out of the Fade and landed on your head and forgot who you were. Seriously, stop that. We still haven't been paid. Some of our kith made it out of that giant shithole full of demons after the explosion. The rest are dead or missing. I don't know how many were rounded up by angry humans. If you're not dead and you remember who you are, help me find our brothers and sisters. P.S. If you've forgotten who you are, I remind you, your name is Adar, you're Vashoth, you didn't get paid for being blown up. P.P.S. If you are dead, disregard this message. Okay, so... The nobles are likely keeping Kunari from crossing the lands. We can negotiate passage, or we can send a patrol to find scattered Talvashoth mercenaries in the wilderness. I will send Josephine
At your service.
on that mission. And then we'll send Cullen to gather coin, because there's nothing else really to do at the moment. Alright, there we go. Missions set up.
truths the Maker has revealed to me.
Alright,
As
so...
there is but one world.
I'm actually going to head this way, because I think... Yes, we have a quest over here. And we also have a companion, a character, which I believe, if I remember correctly, is Solus. Yes, it is. Alright, well, let's go in here first. Apothecary. So this is the apothecary. Where we can upgrade our potions, which... I can research increase healing 1. Oh, I don't have a Dawn Lotus. Okay, so no, I cannot do that. Alright, I'm done. You have something for me?
To make sure these are safe to serve.
They're fine. Nobody will take sick as long as she boils them right. Smart woman for asking, though. Look who's back from the dead. Again. I shouldn't be surprised. You Oxmen are tough as old leather.
We've met?
I don't recall meeting you before.
I'd be surprised if you did. You weren't particularly coherent. Someone had to patch you up after you staggered out of making those wear, though. So, you're welcome.
Thank you.
I didn't realize. Thank you.
Yeah, well, you can pay me back by fixing the world. Name's Adan. I'm in charge of keeping our little band here stocked with potions and elixirs. Not that Seeker Pentagast seems to care whether we've got the supplies to actually do that.
You seem a bit cranky.
For a healer, you don't seem particularly nurturing.
I'm not a healer. I'm an alchemist who's forced to play Mother Hen. You want something to burst into flame on contact with the air? Done. Gladly. Patching up wounded soldiers is a waste of my time and talents. But there are a few around who can help.
How are things here?
How are your people holding up?
There's no shortage of work. That's for damn sure.
And do you need any help?
Is there anything I can do to help out?
We're fine as far as raw labor goes. You've more important things to do than tend to me. I only wish I'd been able to find Master Tajin's notes. Old bastard was working on something special. He died at the Conclave, and his notes weren't here. Been too busy dealing with the wounded to look for them.
I think I can probably look for that.
Farewell.
Anything interesting here? We'll take that. What's this? Patient observations. Day true. Pulse normal, breathing normal, still responsive. Careful drop feed of prep. Elfroot extract to hasten a recovery. A lot of thrashing. Mutters about too many eyes. Something about the gray. Encouraging? Solus. Let's have a chat.
The chosen of Andraste. The blessed heroes sent to save us all.
I'm no hero.
I've no interest in being a hero. All I want is to find a way to seal this breach.
Pragmatic, but ultimately irrelevant. I've journeyed deep into the Fade in ancient ruins and battlefields to see the dreams of lost civilizations. I've watched as hosts of spirits clash to reenact the bloody past in ancient wars, both famous and forgotten. Every great war has its heroes. I'm just curious what kind you'll be.
You study ancient ruins?
What do you mean, ruins and battlefields?
Any building strong enough to withstand the rigors of time has a history. Every battlefield is steeped in death. Both attract spirits. They press against the veil, weakening the barrier between our worlds. When I dream in such places, I go deep into the Fade. I can find memories no other living being has ever seen.
How could you sleep there?
You fall asleep in the middle of ancient ruins? Isn't that dangerous?
I do set wards. And if you leave food out for the giant spiders, they are usually content to live and let live.
Hopefully we won't run into too many giant spiders. Impressive.
I've never heard of anyone going so far into the Fade. That's extraordinary.
Thank you. It's not a common field of study for obvious reasons. Not so flashy as throwing fire or lightning. The thrill of finding remnants of a 1,000-year-old dream? I would not trade it for anything. I will stay then. At least until the breach has been closed.
Was that in doubt?
I am an apostate mage surrounded by chantry forces, and unlike you, I do not have a divine mark protecting me. Cassandra has been accommodating, but you understand my caution.
I think Cassandra would protect you.
Cassandra trusts you. She won't let anyone put you into a circle against your will.
Thank you. I appreciate the thought. But now let us hope either the mages or the templars have the power to seal the breach.
Anything else to discuss, Solus?
Closing the breach is our primary goal. But I hope we might also discover what was used to create it. Any artifact of such power is dangerous. The destruction of the Conclave proves that much.
You think it survived?
You don't think whatever created the explosion was destroyed in the blast?
You survived, did you not? The artifact that created the breach is unlike anything seen in this age. I will not believe it destroyed until I see the shattered fragments with my own eyes.
It'll probably turn up.
Anything with that kind of power is bound to show up sooner or later.
Liliana's people have scoured the area near the blast and found nothing. Whatever the artifact was, it is no longer there. In any case, did you need me for anything?
Let's see. Tell me about yourself.
I'd like to know more about you, Solus.
Why?
You seem like a nice guy.
You're an apostate, yet you risked your freedom to help the Inquisition.
Not the wisest course of action when framed that way.
I appreciate the work you're doing, Solus. I just wanted to know more about you.
I'm sorry. With so much fear in the air. What would you know of me?
Do you work with anyone?
Have you always traveled and studied alone?
Not at all. I have built many lasting friendships. Spirits of wisdom, possessed of ancient knowledge, happy to share what they had seen. Spirits of purpose helped me search. Even wisps, curious and playful, would point out treasures I might have missed.
Wisdom and purpose?
I don't know of any spirits by those names.
They rarely seek this world. When they do, their natures do not often survive exposure to the people they encounter. Wisdom and purpose are too easily twisted to pride and desire.
And those are demon names.
You're saying that you became friends with pride and desire demons?
They were not demons for me.
Meaning?
The Fade reflects the minds of the living. If you expect a spirit of wisdom to be a pride demon, it will adapt. And if your mind is free of corrupting influences, if you understand the nature of the spirit, they can be fast friends.
Can they really?
You trust these spirits not to possess you the first time you accidentally make a wish?
Do you trust your friends not to turn on you?
Well, yes, but they're people.
Ah, of course.
You know what I mean.
Are people only people because they are flesh and blood? Is Cassandra defined by her cheekbones and not her faith? Varric by his chest hair and not his wit?
I guess we'll go with this.
Spirits are bound by their nature. You said it yourself. They're shaped by contact with real people.
Just as Liliana was shaped by contact with divine Justinian. As those who serve the Inquisition are shaped by you. If I change your mind in this conversation, does that mean you're no more real than a spirit?
You've thought about this.
On occasion, yes.
Clearly. Where have you studied? Or why do you study the Fate? Let's go with that one
What
first.
made you start studying the Fade?
I grew up in a village to the north. There was little to interest a young man, especially one gifted with magic. But as I slept, spirits of the Fade showed me glimpses of wonders I had never imagined. I treasured my dreams. Being awake, out of the Fade, became troublesome.
That sounds dangerous.
Did spirits try to tempt you?
No more than a brightly colored fruit is deliberately tempting you to eat it. I learned how to defend myself from more aggressive spirits, and how to interact safely with the rest. I learned how to control my dreams with full consciousness. There was so much I wanted to explore.
Clearly you woke up.
I gather you didn't spend your entire life dreaming.
No. Eventually, I was unable to find new areas in the Fade.
Why?
2 reasons. First, the Fade reflects the world around it. Unless I traveled, I would never find anything new. Second, the Fade reflects and is limited by our imaginations. To find interesting areas, one must be interesting.
Is that why you're here?
Is this why you joined the Inquisition?
I joined the Inquisition because we were all in terrible danger. If our enemies destroy the world, I would have nowhere to lay my head while dreaming of the Fade.
I hope that works for you.
I wish you luck.
Thank you. In truth, I've enjoyed experiencing more of life to find more of the Fade.
How so?
You train your will to control magic and withstand possession. Your indomitable focus is an enjoyable side benefit. You have chosen a path whose steps you do not dislike because it leads to a destination you enjoy. As have I.
Where exactly have you done this studying?
You said you'd traveled to many different places.
This world, or its memory, is reflected in the Fade. Dream in ancient ruins, you may see a city lost to history. Some of my fondest memories were found in crumbling cities, long picked dry by treasure seekers, the best of the battlefields. Spirits press so tightly on the veil that you can slip across with but a thought.
Which battlefields?
Any place in particular?
I dreamt Dostigar. I witnessed the brutality of the Darkspawn and the valor of the Ferelden warriors. I saw Alistair and the hero Ferelden light the signal fire, and Logain's infamous betrayal of Kaelin's forces.
I guess we'll see. Can you tell us what happened?
I've heard the stories. It would be interesting to hear what it was really like.
That's just it. In the Fade, I see reflections created by spirits who react to the emotions of the warriors. One moment, I see heroic wardens lighting the fire, and a power-mad villain sneering as he lets King Kaelin fall. The next, I see an army overwhelmed and a veteran commander refusing to let more soldiers die in a lost cause.
And you can't tell which is real?
It is the Fade. They are all real.
Alright, well.
We'll talk later.
Goodbye.
Okay, interesting chat there with Solus. Anything in these buildings while I'm here? Doesn't appear so.
Have you heard about the refugees
What's
out in
this?
the near Redcliffe?
The Singing Maiden. Have you ever heard the story of the King Bedwyr? Oh, there's a lot. Okay. So. This is the tavern. Tale of the Frostbacks. Okay, more Codex. Flissa.
Maker, you're here. You're the Herald of Andraste, and you were sent to test us, to see whether we would accept a Cunari as Andraste's chosen. I think everyone is worthy of love. The Maker just makes some of us larger and greyer than others. And, I mean, I'm Flissa. Can I get you a drink?
Relax.
It's all right, Flissa. I won't do anything frightening.
If you wanted to close the breach, I wouldn't mind. As I said, I'm Flissa. The Inquisition soldiers needed a place to unwind, so Leliana brought me in to set up a tavern. Nothing fancy, but it's safer for the soldiers than looking for trouble in some village.
How do you know Liliana?
You said Liliana asked you to run an Inquisition tavern. How did you meet?
Dumb luck, maybe. I managed an inn back in Denerim. When I heard interesting gossip, I'd pass word to Liliana. Sometimes it was helpful. She asked if I wanted to own my own tavern, and I said yes. I didn't realize she meant this.
So what can I find here?
What can you tell me about this area?
Adan is Haven's apothecary. He's been making potions and tending to the wounded as best he can. Harrit is the Inquisition smith. Whatever he can make you, Thren the quartermaster can probably find. And for anything fancier, you can try buying from Segrit. His prices aren't too high. Yet. Oh, there's also Minave. She studies beasts and things, as I understand.
All right.
Farewell.
Goodbye.
Guess we'll head further into the village. Let's see. There's something blinking. Andraste's Mabari. You know, Andraste's old Mabari, he don't show up in the chant. Okay, so something about Andraste's Mabari.
I shall embrace the light.
Alright.
I shall weather the storm.
Cigarette.
You're awake and out of Lady Cassandra's clutches. And here I paid that little knife ear to inform me the moment you were free. No matter, no matter. Sigrid, honored to meet you. Thank you for all you've done, and hopefully will still do.
Such as?
What do you think I'll be doing exactly?
Word's already spreading that if anyone can close that blighted thing in the sky, it's you. Anything you need is yours. For a reasonable price, of course. Supplies are a little tight, given the circumstances.
How's the mood here?
You must speak with most everyone here. How are people doing?
Hope and fear in equal measure. No one really knows what it means when an Inquisition is called. Yet, of course, we're all getting used to, well, you as our last best hope. Nothing personal.
Why have you stayed?
What kind of person stays to run a shop at a time like this?
The kind with nowhere else to go. Those blasted demons destroy most of my goods. If I stay here, work some contacts, I can start rebuilding. Maybe, just maybe, help you folks out in the process.
Alright.
Until later.
Stay safe.
Don't think we're going to do much shopping at the moment. So what was over this way? Ah. Okay, yeah, this is where they're setting up the trebuchets. Okay.
I don't see why we need full siege equipment. We're not laying siege to anything.
That's an excellent point, Recruit. But if someone comes to lay siege to us, perhaps it will be best for us to have some means to fight back.
Yes, sir. Sorry, sir.
True.
Here, tell Mother Giselle.
As over darkness comes upon me, I shall embrace the light.
Alright,
If the Inquisition wants to field a decent cavalry, it needs better horses. I heard Seeker Pentecost might try to acquire suitable mounts from Master Dennett in the hinterlands.
Oh, and who are you to be fishing around for what the higher-ups are doing?
Back in Angsburg, my uncle was 5th Praetor.
And what's that mean for you back in Arnsberg?
Honestly, about as much as it does here.
Harriet, let's talk to you.
Expected you'd be by. I'm Harriet, and everyone knows who you are. How's the new gear fit?
Quite well.
Sturdy and warm. It's perfect.
Good. World's gone mad. Stock armor and blades are good against bandits, but we're not fighting bandits. My gear will see you through demons, apostates, whatever this world throws at you. So, you need custom work, something special. You bring the materials to us, we'll make it happen.
What's your story?
How did you come to be here?
Come from a little town called Lothering. Long gone now. I was in Redcliffe when the Darkspawn hit it during the Blight. Helped rebuild. Left when royalty decided it was time to hand the place over to the bloody mages. Ended up here. Just missed the boom. Can't decide if I'm the luckiest son of a bitch walking or the exact opposite.
Lucky, I guess.
You're still walking. That's always good.
True enough.
What can you make?
What can you and your team make here?
Arms and armor. We work iron to blighted dragonbone if you've got it. Our designs are simple, but they get the job done. You want something fancy? Bring your own design. We'll see what we can do.
Can you improve my equipment?
Can you help improve my arms and armor?
Yes. You find a new piece, a pauldron or greaves, we'll take care of you. You can't just slap a new hilt on your sword in the field. Bring it here, we'll make sure it's done right and proper.
I don't think we're really gonna bother with this too much. Do you have any designs?
If I want something, what can you make?
Start simple. Something to keep you safe. Take a look at it on the table there and we can talk. You'll need materials. You should have what you want just outside.
Alright.
Goodbye.
Right.
Modify some armor. That's for crafting armor. Modify weapons. Modify armor. Okay. We don't appear to have any upgrades that we can apply right now, so I'm not going to worry too much about the crafting at the moment. We need to build up some materials first before we can really make anything good. A nug. It's saying that there's a quest marker. I think this is because we actually have a quest to craft stuff, so we can't do that at the moment. We should have Cassandra over here somewhere. Yes, there she is. Let's have a chat. You alright?
Worried?
Is it that obvious?
I'm afraid so.
Did I do the right thing? What I have set in motion here could destroy everything I have revered my whole life. One day they may write about me as a traitor, a madwoman, a fool, and they may be right.
What do you believe?
What does your faith tell you?
I believe you are innocent. I believe more is going on here than we can see. And I believe no one else cares to do anything about it. They will stand in the fire and complain that it is hot. But is this the Maker's will? I can only guess.
So what happens next?
What's going to happen now?
Now, we deal with the Chantry's panic over you before they do even more harm. Then we close the breach. We are the only ones who can. After that, we find out who is responsible for this chaos, and we end them. And if there are consequences to be paid for what I have done, I pay them. I only pray the price is not too high.
Well, it's too late to turn back now.
Isn't it a bit late to worry about it now?
We have only just begun. My trainers always said, Cassandra, you are too brash. You must think before you act. I see what must be done, and I do it. I see no point in running around in circles like a dog chasing its tail. But I misjudged you in the beginning, did I not? I thought the answer was before me, clear as day. I cannot afford to be so careless again.
Glad to hear it.
Can't say I'm not grateful to hear that.
I can be harsh, I know. You've said you don't believe you're chosen. Does that mean you also don't believe in the Maker?
I guess we'll go with, that's correct.
No, I don't.
I suppose I should not be surprised. I have to believe we were put on this path for a reason, even if you do not. Now it simply remains to see where it leads us.
Yeah, we're Kunari, raised by Talvashov. We were not raised in the faith of the Chantry, so we don't exactly subscribe to it. Oh, is there anything else that Cassandra wants to talk about before we leave?
Do occurs to me I don't actually know much about you.
What do you know?
I'm not sure. Where are you from?
I'll tell her.
No specific place. My mercenary band worked mostly in the free marches, however.
At least until you crossed the waking sea to reach the Conclave, I suppose. Tell me, do you consider the free marches your home? Are you eager to go back?
Yes, home is wherever I'm at.
Wherever I am is home enough for me.
That's how I feel now, after years of tending to business for the Divine.
Well, tell me about yourself.
I'd like to get to know you better.
You would?
Is that a problem?
Not entirely. I'm just curious as to your motivation.
Just being friendly.
No motivation beyond making things between us less...
Antagonistic?
Exactly.
As you wish. My name is Cassandra Pentecost, daughter of the Royal House of Navarra, 78th in line for the Navarran throne. I joined the Seekers of Truth as a young woman, and was with the Order until they withdrew from the Chantry. I remained as the Divine's right hand, carrying out her order to form the Inquisition. And here we are. That's all there is to know, my lady.
You're Navarran royalty?
You're a member of Navarre's royal family?
The Pentecosts are a very large clan. Half of Cumberland could say the same.
Really?
No, but it feels that way. I have hundreds of relatives so distant they need charts to prove we're related at all. And they have them. Oh yes. The Pentecosts value their precious blood like it runs with gold.
So you're not on good terms, I assume.
So, not on very good terms with your family, then?
I do not visit, if that's what you mean. The Pentecosts are famed for dragon hunting, but few actually pursue the craft. Most are fat and lazy. They pay lip service to the Maker and care only for idle pleasures and past glories. My brother was all that kept me in Navarra. Once he was gone, so...
What happened to your brother? If I may pry.
Tell me about your brother.
I would prefer not to speak of Anthony. Another time, perhaps.
Fair enough. So you worked for the Divine?
So you were the right hand to the Divine?
To Divine Justinia, yes. And Divine Beatrix before her, in fact. The position is normally reserved for Templars of the Knights Divine, but my circumstances were unusual.
Unusual how?
You don't know the story? Thank the Maker. I will tell you if you wish, but it isn't as exciting as some drum it up to be. The short version is that I once saved the previous Divine's life. My reward was becoming her right hand.
What is the right hand?
But what does a right hand do exactly?
What is your hand capable of? It gives, it takes, it beckons. It makes a fist. Liliana and I extended the Divine's reach beyond the Grand Cathedral. We went where she could not. After Beatrix, I was tired of the position and wanted to return to the Seekers. But Justinia convinced me to stay. Her vision for the future gave me hope.
You believed in her?
You thought she could really change things?
Justinian knew the war was coming long before it began. She tried to avert it, but the forces arrayed against her were too strong. Sometimes you have to break a bone so it can be reset. That's where the Inquisition comes in. It was to be the answer. A means to preserve as well as an agent for change. I only had to see it.
So how did you become right hand?
So what's the story about you becoming the right hand?
Sweet Andraste, do you really want to hear that? It was, what, 18, 20 years ago? Some still discuss it like it happened yesterday. The tale gets bigger each time it's told. I barely recognize myself within it now.
That's kind of how stories work.
That's what happens with stories that become legends.
I am not a legend, nor was I then. I was a young woman barely out of training. To hear others tell it, I alone saved Divine Beatrix from a horde of dragons sent to assault the Grand Cathedral. Rather impressive for such a young seeker, wouldn't you say?
And the truth is?
I stumbled upon a conspiracy to kill Beatrix. A Templar Knight Commander was at its heart. And there was a dragon battle at the Grand Cathedral, but I had loyal mages who rallied to the cause. They freed the dragons from magical control. Without them, the Divine and I would both have died. Yet I became the right hand, and they are forgotten.
So what became of the mages?
What happened to the mages that helped you?
They went back to their circles, with rewards and privileges and most holy's gratitude. Many of them died at the conclave.
Well, it's still impressive.
An impressive tale. I can see why people enjoy telling it.
Just wait till they start telling stories about you.
And Varric is probably going to be the first. I guess what I was going to tell us about Navarra.
You don't seem to like your homeland much.
My family polluted it for me. What little I saw of my homeland was through the bars of a gilded cage. My uncle treated me like a porcelain doll to be placed on a shelf and dusted only when necessary. Thus I did not see Navarra, the real Navarra, until much later. By then I realized I knew it not at all.
What about your parents?
Your uncle? What about your parents?
They had the misfortune of taking the wrong side in the second attempt to overthrow King Marcus. The king executed them, but spared my brother and I since we were family, and children at the time. Thus we were raised by my uncle, a Mortalitasi who preferred the company of his corpses to the living.
Mortalitasi?
Your uncle was a Mortalitasi?
A death mage. He still is. My countrymen do not burn the dead, they bury them in special crypts. The Mortalitasi supervise the crypts, like priests. Uncle Vestalis oversees the grand necropolis. Nevarans spend more time honoring dead relatives than they do with living ones. It is odd to be so fascinated with death and its trappings. I will never understand it.
Alright, well that's all for now.
I'll let you get back to work.
I think we're going to continue running this episode a little bit longer just so we can get through all these conversations here. Cullen, I think you're probably last on the list.
You there. There's a shield in your hand. Block with it. If this man were your enemy, you'd be dead. Lieutenant, don't hold back. The recruits must prepare for a real fight, not a practice one.
Yes, Commander.
We've received a number of recruits. Locals, Haven, and some pilgrims. None made quite the entrance you did.
I like to stand out.
At least I got everyone's attention.
That you did. I was recruited to the Inquisition in Kirkwall myself. I was there during the Mage Uprising. I saw firsthand the devastation it caused.
Sir.
Cassandra sought a solution when she offered I left Templars to join her cause. Now it seems we face something far worse.
Everything's a mess.
The Conclave destroyed, a giant hole in the sky. Things aren't looking good.
Which is why we're needed. The Chantry lost control of both Templars and Mages. Now they argue over a new Divine while the breach remains. The Inquisition could act when the Chantry cannot. Our followers would be part of that. There's so much we can... Forgive me. I doubt you came here for a lecture.
I don't mind.
You understand our situation. I appreciate your opinion.
Look around. Our people are well organized and knitted. Despite what the clerics think, we are in the best position to help. There's still a lot of work ahead.
Commander, Sir Raiden has a report on our supply lines.
As I was saying.
Alright. And he probably has more we can talk about as well, so let's go ahead.
Was there something you needed?
Investigate. Tell me about yourself.
I should get to know you better. We're working together, after all.
What would you like to know?
All right. Where are you from?
I'm not sure why this popped up.
I grew up in Ferelden, near Holland. I was transferred to Kirkwall shortly after the Blight. This is the first I've returned in almost 10 years.
Varric's from Kirkwall.
Varric's from Kirkwall. Did you two know each other?
I knew he was friends with the champion of Kirkwall, but little else. We've spoken more since I joined the Inquisition, largely at Varric's insistence. Apparently, I spend too much time with a serious expression on my face, and it's bad for my health.
You were away a long time.
You haven't seen Ferelden in 10 years. Are you glad to be back?
I was not sorry. I did not expect to return. Now, between the Divine's murder and the breach, I've arrived to find nothing but chaos.
Tell me about the Blight.
You were in Ferelden during the Blight. Did you fight Darkspawn?
No. I was stationed at Ferelden's Circle Tower. The Circle had troubles of its own. I remained there,
What happened to the Circle? Well, we know, but our character doesn't.
What happened at the Circle Tower?
Few who survived the Blight have fond memories of that time. I would prefer not to speak of it.
Fine. Oh, tell me about Kirkwall.
What was Kirkwall like?
While I was there, Canary occupied and then attacked the city. The Viscount's murder caused political unrest. Relation mages and class fell apart. An apostate blew up the Chantry, and the Knight Commander went mad. Other than that, it was fine.
Tell me about the rebellion.
What happened between Kirkwall's mages and Templars?
You were at the Conclave. You must have heard people speak of it.
Yes, but you were there.
There was tension between mages and Templars long before I arrived. It reached a breaking point. There was fighting in the streets. Abominations began killing both sides. It was a nightmare.
How did it end?
What happened then?
The Templars should have restored order, but Red Lyrium had driven Knight Commander Meredith mad. She threatened to kill Kirkwall's champion, turned on her own men. I'm not sure how far she would have gone. Too far.
So you opposed her?
I stood with the champion against her, in the end. I should have seen through Meredith sooner.
Well, that's all for now.
I'll let you return to your work.
You have other matters to attend.
And there is one other thing to do here. What's this? Requisition for weapons. Oh, there's a logging stand. We actually need that. Let me flag that so I can actually track it. Oh, elf fruit. Okay, so there's something here that's part of a quest, which is why we have a little ding. We have a little arrow indicator on the ground when we pulse. Points us in the direction. There it is. So those are the notes that Adon was looking for. And before we turn them in, I want to head out that way. So we needed that logging stand for the quartermaster as well. Oh, that is the quest that we're on. I think we may have come the wrong way. Let's see if I can kind of sneak around a bit. Nope, doesn't appear so. I think I saw a gate. Oh, lots of elf fruit. Ooh, what we got? Iron. Iron. And probably some more iron. Yep, grab that. Alright, what do we got here? Some ram leather. Elf fruit. It seems to be all over the place out here. I think this is the logging stand we're looking for. Alright, then we can go fill that requisition. Oh, there's that iron. Alright, so go ahead and we'll turn in these 2 quests, and then we'll be done with this episode, and then the next episode we'll to the hinterlands. Begin our work out there trying to build up the Inquisition's power. So that we can eventually end up talking to either the mages or the templars, which, considering that our character is a mage, we're probably mage route. We go to the table. Inquisition weapons. Do it. Reward is +1 power. Alright.
Nice work. What did dwarves do when magic was done?
We call the templars, just like the rest of them.
Alright, power +1. We'll come over here and we will give Adon.
You're back. And in one piece.
I'll give him the notes.
You said you thought Master Tajin was working on something special. If it helps, I found his notes.
The old codger was on the edge of a breakthrough here, but he couldn't see it. You want some of these mixed up? You just give the word.
Alright.
Farewell.
Lyrium potion recipe. Alright, so lyrium potion. Let's see, we'll need 1 elf fruit. Alright, it takes 5 elf fruit to replenish our lyrium potions, but we're definitely going to need them. So, that is good. Alright, so we'll go ahead, we'll end this episode here. We're done in Haven for a while, at least until we recruit some new characters or some new events happen. Then we're going to want to go around and talk to people again. But most of the actual, like, investigating conversations and everything are done. Alright, so I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Go ahead, like, subscribe, and comment, and I will see you next time.